There we go. Let's move this down. There we go. Okay, we're going to start this masterclass. I'm really glad that y'all are here today. And we're going to move to the next one. When we let go of 2023, we're going to talk about 3 things that we need to release and let go of. And these are the major things that can cause problems in our lives. And they sometimes, most of the time, stem from unresolved trauma. And it can include loss, grief, as far back as even childhood. These feelings have a heavy, dense energy, and they can create disease in our lives. They can also block us from our spiritual connection and the divine within you. Let's talk about resentments first. Resentment describes a negative emotional reaction to being mistreated. There's not any one cause for resentments, but most cases involve an underlying sense of being mistreated or wronged by another person. We can experience frustration, disappointment, and that's all a normal part of life. But a person experiencing resentment will often feel a complex variety of different emotions: anger, disappointment, bitterness, and hard feelings. All those add up. It's commonly triggered by relationships with people who insist on being right, being taken advantage by another person, feeling put down. And sometimes we have unrealistic expectations of people who really aren't capable of giving us what we want. Maybe not being heard, interactions with people who are always late and you don't feel respected. And so one of the things we're going to talk about is, what did you learn from your resentments? Maybe you learned to set boundaries. You learned to not accept unacceptable behavior. When we're faced with resentments, we use something called discernment rather than judging another person. We discern the situation, what's really going on here, what does it have to do with me? And discernment is about what is in my highest and best good. Judgment is judging another person. We don't really want to do that because, most of the times these things have nothing to do with us, and it's usually a trigger. The other thing that we want to let go is any regrets. A regret is a feeling sad or wrong about a mistake, wishing it could have been better. A regret is a form of self-hatred. If who you are today is a culmination of everything that's happened to you, then rejection is some part of you in this moment. Hating some part of yourself in the present messes you up psychologically. Hating a part of your past isn't much different. It harbors shame and resentment. It instills self-loathing. But the way to get over regret is not to ignore it. It's to push through it. It's to engage that former self, talk to them directly, and understand why they did what they did. It's to sympathize with that former self, to care for them, and ultimately to forgive them, knowing that we really all can do the best we can at any given moment. It's interesting because a couple of days ago, I went into this big regret situation mindset, and it was like, whoa. And I pushed through it and realized that the little girl learned of these behaviors, made those decisions at that time based on what she knew. And she really only did the best she could at that time. So those regrets, the feeling, the pain that I was causing myself by those regrets was pretty terrific. And I shared earlier that my husband and I were sick over the holidays, and our kids had to cancel their plane reservations, and so Christmas for us is actually going to be on Sunday. So I was feeling, everybody celebrating and was doing the poor me. and experiencing a little bit of regret about some things I had done in my past. Rejection. Feeling rejection is the opposite of feeling accepted. And it doesn't mean that we're not liked or valued. It just means that one time in one situation with one person, things didn't work out. Social rejection increases anger, anxiety, depression, jealousy, and sadness. It reduces our performance on difficult intellectual tasks and can also contribute to aggression and poor impulse control. Rejection is the loss of something or someone you had hoped to have or had. Don't blame yourself. It's natural to want to know why we were rejected, but most of the time, the situation has nothing to do with us. It's usually the other person's issues, or maybe even a misunderstanding. Understanding this strengthens your resiliency, and you want to keep putting yourself out there in spite of the feeling of rejection. So these are the three things that we want to release: resentment, rejections, and regrets. Those three things are typically what can cause major problems with us in moving forward. And there's 4 steps to releasing and letting go. And these are what's located or listed on your worksheet. Step 1 is acknowledgement. And in fact, you're going to have recording, and I want to suggest that you maybe go through this worksheet and do this on a monthly or quarterly basis. Kind of release and let go, so it's not all stacked up for the end of the year. Acknowledge any of these experiences this past year. The event could be from your past, but the feelings can continue throughout the year. Take time now to write down the who, what, where for these. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to do this. Play a little background music. Okay, we're going to go on to the next one. Step 2 is expression. What feelings are you experiencing from any resentments, regrets, or rejections? Allow yourself to fully express all those negative emotions and feelings: hatred, pain, hurt, anger, grudges. I think what comes up for me is the not good enoughs. That was a huge negative belief that I had in my subconscious for years before I did the healing work that I do. Write them down. I don't know if you've ever seen that feelings word list, but sometimes we just have a tendency to look at anger frustration and sadness. But shame and guilt can be big too. You know, maybe we did one thing wrong in the relationship and we feel like it's taken us down this path and we're shaming ourselves for this one little thing. And yet, that one little thing probably nobody noticed. And yet, we're allowing it to really control our emotions. So write down any of the feelings that you had during this time uh, with that experience. Add some more music. Okay. And step 3, lessons. You know, one of the things that I've learned in life is that life doesn't, things don't, things, it's not done to me, it's done for me. Life's lessons, you know, things don't happen to me, they happen for me. I've realized I'm on this journey of learning life lessons and that everything happens to learn from. I've become in the last, gosh, probably 25 years, an observer in my life. When things feel icky, I don't feel good, then I ask myself, what's going on here? Why do I feel this way? What are the lessons? So the questions are, what good lessons have I learned through these experiences? One of the things that I've learned is self-value. Um, what can I learn positive or take positive for myself from the experience? How has the experience made me a better person? And how does that experience serve me? And what would happen if I could let go completely and forgive? When we talk about forgiveness, it's not about the other person. It's about releasing the pain and the hurt of the situation. Our soul is continually growing and expanding by mastering certain qualities and certain virtues. By learning these particular lessons, um, we grow. We grow into being the more divine person that we're meant to be. We are, you know, I believe we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and when we learn these lessons, we're more that spiritual being and less of that human being. Also sometimes known as human doing. And the next step, you know, I'm going to give you some time to do that. And I don't know why the meditation music isn't showing up. I'm not playing it right now, but um, it's interesting how it's not showing up, and yet I have it in my background. Yeah, turn your volume up, Ildiko. I'm not sure. I have mine up all the way for my voice. And yeah, I can be very soft spoken. Be really loud too. I was a teacher with a huge classroom for years. Try to calm that down a little bit. Okay. And step 4 is gratitude. Um, Gratitude changes everything. It's when you say, thank you for teaching these valuable lessons to me, for allowing me to master particular qualities and virtues. Um, I've learned to be patient. I remember years ago, I was like, oh, what's a human doing? You know, one of my favorite sayings is I could leap over furniture and single bound, answer the phone on the first ring, all the while by nursing a baby and cooking dinner. I was a human doing. I wasn't a human being. And I learned patience and I've learned to be and not do. And, you know, today I can kind of watch the grass grow. um, and it's one of the virtues. I've learned to be patient. I've learned to be more understanding. You know, one of the most valuable statements I remember hearing years ago was hurt people hurt people. And so when I understand that, I'm able to have compassion and understanding, and be able to discern what's best for me without judging another person. And I think that's really valuable. It keeps me in this high vibrational energy of loving intention. Once you say thank you, you can say, I no longer need these in my life to teach me all these lessons. I know that I've got them and I've mastered them, and now I'm a better person. So at the bottom of your worksheet, there is a prayer. We're going to be saying that prayer in the guided meditation, and we're going to start that meditation now. And I'm going to put everybody back on. And put this back on. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. There we go. And there we go. I'm going to go back to speaker. There. Okay. And during this, and I want you to raise your hand if you cannot. I'm going to start the music if you cannot hear the music. Raise your hand if you cannot hear the background music. Cannot hear it. Okay.
It comes to always very wobbly, so it's.
How's that? Can you hear it?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But can you hear my music?
No.
No? Okay. So I'm going to can the music.
Very faint, yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't want it to disrupt my voice, because the meditation is more important. The music is secondary. So I'm going to ask everybody to be on mute. Mute yourselves. Make sure you're muted. And we're going to talk first before about the word. Each word during this meditation, we're going to release those things that we talked about that you filled out in your worksheet. And you're going to be receiving a word for the year of 2024. Each word has a resonance, a vibration, a sacred meaning. It can influence and shape everything you do. This word that chooses you this year is part of doing and part of being. There's a difference between doing something and being something. Your word is both. It is something you do and something you are. It is a word that fits into all areas of your life. It works in the kitchen, the bedroom, the work, in your conversations with clients, relationships, and your kids. It influences the things you buy, keep, and get rid of. It helps you show up in the world in alignment with your person, with your purpose. My word last year was expand. And it's really interesting because the decisions we made recently, there has been a lot of expansion. The year before, my word was release, and that year I released 50 pounds of weight. So and some other things. There's an important distinction of receiving a word versus picking a word. When you receive a word, it fits into your life. When you pick a word, it's in your mind. You've chosen it. When you pick a word, it sounds really good, but it doesn't reach into all the facets of your life. When we go into this meditation, you receive the word, it harmonizes all areas of your life. When choosing it doesn't. I'm going to guide you through this process, and we're going to start right now. So I'm going to make sure everybody's here. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to ask that you close your eyes and get comfortable. Take a deep breath. Get comfortable, close your eyes. Making sure that you're sitting comfortably with both feet firmly on the ground. You don't want to cross your arms or your legs, allowing the energy to flow. Gently part your mouth and allow the air to exhale when we begin our deep breathing. You're going to breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. It's really interesting, but this 4-beat breath, 4 in, 4 hold it, 4 exhale. This breathing actually lowers your blood pressure. I've used it many times. Close your eyes, rest your hands on your lap, focus on your breathing, inhaling through your nose and really deep breath filling with air, causing your abdomen to expand and rise. When you can inhale no more, just hold for a few seconds and then gently, very gently release your breath. As you inhale, imagine a brilliant bright white light entering the top of your head and filling every single cell in your body with this brilliant white energy. And as we exhale, we release any tension that might exist in our body. Release any pain, any stress. We are letting it all go. We're letting it all go. So with the in-breath, in comes source energy, renewing, healing, invigorating. And with the out-breath, release. Release and let go. Release fears, release worries, release any type of negative emotion. Release regrets, release resentments, and release rejections from this past year. The prayer, I now release what I don't want to make room for, the desires of my heart. I now forgive and release everything and everybody of the past and present who needs forgiveness and release. I release and let you go. I let go and let God do his perfect work in this experience for the highest and good of all concerned. We're now going to imagine tiny white roots going from our feet deep into the earth, spreading into a tinier 1,000 white roots. These white roots are going deep, deep down into the earth, down past rocks, crystals, down deep into the beating heart of the earth, the molten core, into Mother Earth. Take your energy in the form of a ball and travel down those roots, connecting to that magnetic energy force, Mother Earth. We feel grounded, connected, and secure. Imagine wrapping yourself in a cloak of protection. This protects us with its Teflon coating. We are completely safe and are held in love, light, and protection at all times, and only allow what is in our highest and best good. Take a deep breath, saying thank you. Travel back up those tiny white roots, up through the bottom of your feet, all the way up your body. As you feel this energy twirling inside your body, traveling up your body, it is opening every chakra, energy center in you. Twirling, opening, opening, opening your legs, your hips, your waist, your chest, your shoulders, your neck, your head. Opening every single energy center chakra in your body. Now imagine that Beautiful ball of light that is you going up out of the top of your head. And you are in this ball of light. Imagine going above the roof, out into the sky above, out into the universe. Imagine going into the light above the universe. It's a big, beautiful light. Go through that light and another bright light. Go through that. In fact, there are many layers of bright light. Go through those. Keep going. Between the bright lights, there's a little dark light. This is just a layer in between. Keep going through the lights. You will get to a jelly-like substance that has all the colors of the rainbow. Go through this. You will see a white iridescent white-blue color light like a pearl. Head for this light. As you go through all the lights, you may see the pink light of compassion. Push through this and you'll see the bright pearlescent white light is in the shape of a window. This window is a seventh plane. Go through it now. As you go through it, you see a whitish glow go through your body. Feel it. You can no longer feel separation between you and that energy. You are now connected to Creator of all that is. Creator of all that is requested and commanded that you send unconditional love to every person listening to this video with unconditional love in every cell of their body with ease and grace on all four levels. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Show me. I now release what I don't want to make room for the desires of my soul. I let go and let God do his perfect work in this experience for the highest good of all concerned. Creator of all that is, requested and commanded that you issue to each person listening to this video their word for 2024 for their highest and best good. We send on all four levels, we thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. Show me. While you are in this sacred space, ask Creator of all it is for your sacred word for 2024 and listen to it. Listen for it. Okay, if you have your pen and paper, you can write your word down and then close your eyes and reconnect. In this space, I want you to imagine your best life for this year. What does it look like? Who is in it? What is happening? Now, using this information, your word and what you released, set an intention for yourself for this year, 2024. Bring yourself back into your body. Wash yourself off with white light. Focus on your breathing. Deep breaths filling your lungs and slowly releasing the breath. Now that you've experienced this, you may open your eyes when you're ready. And I'm going to stop the recording now.